It was quite ridiculous. I'm gonna look at my Twitteries. Everyone's at home. Everyone's chilling. There we go. Everyone will kind of trickle in eventually. Other live coders be coding too. But Australia, they be up. They be up in the morning. Hello from the Philippines. How's it going, Jason? Got some beautiful coffee. Tell us, Nick says, tell us about the. I thought the secret meeting would just lure people in. So check this out. I got another key light. So the key light, which is the thing up top here. Let's see. There we go. So previously, I only had this key. This was the only key light that I had. So just one. It's on the left. It's at full strength right now. Actually, I think this would be full strength. Let's pump it up. Boom. There we go. That's full strength. And then I got another key light. And this is the other key light. Boom. Looks so much better. I'm so happy about it. I'm just so happy about key lights. Are a little expensive, but the lighting just boom right on me, and the shadows are in both places and things are happening. So it looks a lot better in general. And if I do the other reverse, so this is the new one to be none. Floating in the dark. Da-da-da. Now let's turn them both. Pretty cool. Anyways. Yeah, so pretty excited about the multi-light. It took me a while to get there. Hey, TR, how's it going? Good to see ya. Yeah, I was pretty excited when I got the first key light, and I kept watching a bunch of stream videos and things like that, and I was like, man, I need to get a second key. And they're expensive, like $200. They're not cheap. And I was waiting. They're gonna go on sale. They're gonna go on sale. And then they're not going on sale. That's the trick, is they're not going on sale. I said, you know what? I'm buying one. It's happening. And I bought it. So there we go. And thanks to all of you on the stream. Helps chip in. Of course, I'll profit. We donate to a bunch of charities. We have a new charity this month, which is pretty rad. This month. I would say this quarter maybe. And the charity this month, I think I have a thing that will go Asian. Is the Malal Fund, which works all over the globe to help every girl and woman earn, or so help them learn and lead all different regards, not just STEM, but schooling, education, business, everything. So really cool. I'll have a link up in the notes below there. Put a link in, which is cool. So they're kind of in all regards everywhere, which is. Yeah, so super secret meeting. Like I said, can't talk about it. I was in a super secret meeting, then I got pulled into another super secret meeting, and that sort of led into 30 minutes of super secret discussion. So nothing I can talk about at all. That's unfortunate, but pretty stoked about. I'm pretty excited, and you know I get excited easily, but I'm actually really, really excited. So I can't talk about anything. I can't say any words. I can't talk about. Was it XYZ? But let's just say I was excited. And a new coffee today. I'm very excited about the new coffee. Let me put a bang coffee in here. Bam. Good friends over at Yes Please. This is a triple blend. They have a whole weekly newsletter. You can go check it out. I get it once a month, so not that. Can't even hint it. I would literally, if I hint. So here's the thing. If I hint at it, then I'll no longer be able to talk about the super secret stuff. And that's the problem. So if I hint at something, do something. MJ freelancing. Whoa, 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 wow. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Thanks for not lurking around, and thanks for that follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, so if I hint at it, then I won't be able to learn about anything at all. And then that's gonna be a bummer in general. But I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'm stoked. So anyways, good day, but very Lipe Lima, thank you for the follow. Whoa, 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 wow. Welcome to the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm pretty jazzed up, as you can tell. But it was kind of bananas because I was getting ready to stream. I get the call about super secret meeting, and I was like, that's exactly when I stream. I'm like, okay, I'll go in 2 to 3. I'll get out of the super secret meeting, go into home by 3:30, 4 o'clock streaming, get out of super secret meeting, get pulled into super secret meeting number 2. And then now it's 4 o'clock, and then we're discussing. I'm like, now it's traffic, rush hour, 40 minutes to get home. But my gas tank goes from 3 at the beginning of the day today to 2, and I'm down to 1. And I'm like, this is not good, people. Internet, not good. So I have to stop at a gas station, but it is rush hour once I'm in downtown Seattle, and it is raining outside. It's terrible. It's just downpouring the entire way. It takes 50 minutes to get home. The Shell gas station downtown is tiny, so it's like people are packed. And at the same time, I'm driving home, and my flat tire light comes on. Low tire, not flat, but low. You know that one that's like flat? So I'm freaking out about that, but I have a little gauge. Go over. Nothing's low. It's like, one's at 25 PSI compared to 29. No big deal. Pump it up. That's $1.25. Great. Thanks, Shell gas station. And then get around, reconfigure, and get in, fill up the gas tank. It's expensive. I put like how much is gas? Nika asks, how much is gas? So the downtown Seattle is the most expensive gas because it's downtown Seattle. So it's not like Costco. I usually go to Costco, get that Costco pricing. Costco pricing. So we have a smart car. Hey, MJ from the Down Under. Welcome. I figured Australia. Good time right now for Australia. Time in Australia. It's got to be, I'm guessing, 10 a.m. 11 a.m. I guess it depends where in Australia. So, gas. I have to put premium in our car because we have a smart car. And they have fancy engines, I guess. We have a smart car. I have to put premium. Base gas is $3.85 in downtown Seattle. The $12.15. Ooh, so close. Premium gas today, downtown Seattle, $4.30. That's how much it was. A gallon, not a liter. Gallon. Quite expensive. And then if I go to Costco, I bet it would be about $3.50, $3.60 a premium gallon. My assumption. Yeah. East Coast. On the East Coast, up north, the Gold Coast, by Bondi, the Bondi Rescue. And if you haven't done the pleasure of watching Bondi Rescue, this is a great show. South of the Gold Coast, the Bondi Rescue. Bondi Rescue, fantastical show. Here, it's on Netflix if you can watch it. Bondi Rescue. And yeah, it's pretty fantastic. 14 seasons. This is the Gold Coast. I don't know if I necessarily ever want to go to Bondi, but it's all the lifeguards, they call them, yeah, on Bondi Beach. It's crazy. People just are just going to town. It's won awards. It's crazy. There's a few seasons on Netflix. There's a mobile game. Wow, that's crazy. I love it. Yeah. Anyways, and then I get home, boot up my computer. Nothing's working. I got to reboot this, reboot that. Coffee's going over here. Oh. So anyways, I'm here. It's happening. We're good. We're alive. It's good. It's really rainy outside, but I'm on the road tomorrow. Start the Euro tour. If you have not seen that, let me drop a link over here. I'll be all over. Go to DevReach first. Going to DevReach in Bulgaria. And then I'm hitting up Belgium, Germany, UK, Netherlands, Sweden. Coming home. Then I got Ignite. Boom. And no, none of the super secret meeting was about any of that. There's that. Got some delicious coffee. Super excited about it. And yeah, that's it. How's everyone else doing? Everyone else seems to be doing good. It's a little quiet stream, over there. No France, TR. I would like to go back to France. It didn't work out this time. I could only stay away for so long. I'm literally home for 2 days, and then I hit the road again. So, but I'm giving, I believe, 7 talk. No, I can count it here. Go, let's count it. Euro tour. So we got DevReach. So let's count 22nd. That's when I start. So First talk is on the 20th. I leave on the 19th. Get there on the 20th. Free day here. But I'm here for 8 days. 1 talk, 2 talk. 2 talks. This will be Belgium, Germany, UK, day off, Netherlands. Is that right? Netherlands, Stockholm. 7 days, 7 talks. No, 8 days, 7 talks. That's what it is. Boom. My brain hurts. And then I think I leave on the 30th, get home, leave again for it. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's crazy. Crazy. All right. Anyways, we're going to code some stuff. I'm back over on my theming options. So I want to get on this. And I think by the end of the last stream, we had worked on some open source stuff on last weekend. And last Friday, we worked on some theming options. So we almost basically finished the light theme and the dark theme. But I really want to clean up the app a little bit more. And I started to find some information, dark theme stuff. So Apple has this. We're looking at a blog, and what we were looking at for dark theme stuff was on dark theme stuff. Semantic Colors. I think that don't link to the docs here. Do we? Where do we link to them? Semantic Colors. Hey, Luce. So you're up late. You are up late, my friend. Good evening. So I want to introduce these colors here, basically for all intents and purposes, into my semantics in my head. So luckily, our good friends over at Apple, I wish that they would have put it here. So Semantic Colors iOS 13. And this one. So we have a bunch of colors all over our app. Dynamic system colors. Boom. What's it at? Do I element color? Oh, no, here it is. Bam. Yes, this is the thing that I want. So they have all of these colors and all the RGBs. And they're different. So when it's in dark mode versus light mode, they're different. And this will be in Xamarin Forms at some point. But I'm like, oh man, I need to control this into our app. So that's what I'm going to put in today into our dark theme stuff. Look at that. I got this special Windows 10 background. Ooh, Insider. Fancy. TR. Should. Hold on. Let me back up here. Lou says it's 2 a.m. Well, that's late. Didn't intend to wake up in the middle of the night, but since I'm awake, buddy. Oh, your buddy. Friend. Did you watch John at all? Galloway, I think, was streaming earlier today, too. Oh, I don't even have Hanselman. I don't even have this stuff on my machine. Wait, how does this work? Click on this. Whoa, it actually knows how to do it. See, I don't like how it defaults where to put it, but I'll put it here. I like to put it in like /GitHub. I don't know. That's how I'm just so used to putting it in /C for some reason. Boom. Well, welcome, Luce. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate that. Do we update this thing? Download it. Already updated. Let's see. MJ says, sweet. Any chance, I'll come back to you, TR. Any chance of 100 or less overview of what you did previously on the themes? Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, this is installing. So what we did last week on the stream, 100 words, ouch. So we put in a cross-platform setting to let the user decide a light theme, dark theme, or system default. We integrated into the native iOS and Android and Windows operating system to determine what it's there. And then we set up themes and styles in XAML to detect light theme versus dark theme. And that's what we're seeing over here in the video. So I have that all set up, which is super duper nice, inside of the Hanselman Forms application, which is the app that I've been working on for quite a long time now. So that is all set up. It's good to go. And we did like a dry run for all intents and purposes of it running on my device, which is cool. So that's what we set up last week. And here's the PR. I'll drop it in here. 420 in Bucharest. Hello, Romania. But we didn't. I did an entire podcast with Frank on. He opens. Cool. I did a whole podcast on it. So pretty excited about that. TR asks, should Xamarin developers use shell? It seems like it'd be the future of Xamarin navigation. So I like to say if your application is already done and it's good and you have all your stuff in place and you're looking, you're already shipping your application and things are good and heavenly, I mean, no need to necessarily change it at this exact moment. But I do think that it's worth investigating, doing a little spike on, seeing if it fits your application, your model. I do really like the, let's check out the navigation theming to it, but it's going to be based on your application. So if you're using third-party libraries and frameworks and things like that, then maybe not necessarily. Maybe you want to hold off just a little bit longer until those libraries update to use it. But I wanted to make Hanselman Forms really a good example of, hey, like, you know, what would it look like if I did XYZ specifically? So, and use some of the newer stuff. So, let's go into my, we have, it'll be fun. So, my styles. We have a base theme. I'm from Bucharest, but freelancing in I'm from Pennsylvania, but freelancing in Bucharest. Lots of cool tech in Romania. Yeah, I lived in Timișoara for many years, and by many years I mean 6 months. There's that. So yeah, I lived in Timișoara for quite a long time. Very far from Bucharest. Not quite super easy to get. So all right. So here's what we want to do. RGB2 hex, and let's do this. Let us do. So what we want to do inside of this puppy here, way to like fatty. Yeah, Romania is super nice. I really enjoy my time there quite a lot. A lot of good folk people that I met. Not liking that window there. There we go. All right, cool. So what we want to do here is we're going to do color X E, and we're going to do system blue. Boom. Then green, indigo, orange, pink, purple, red, teal, yellow, gray, 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 gray. Perfect. Oh, gray. Perfect. Okay, so we'd want to do is we want to have system. I guess I should have just done green. Shouldn't have all of them. Indigo, orange, pink, purple, red. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them, but I definitely want it. Teal. Hello. And this is great because I don't need to even think about it as far as like, oh, something that I need to be. Let's copy. 2. Beautiful. I wish they gave the hex value. Very sad they didn't. General. .NET is a very cool place. I agree. I can drop a link for that Apple doc. Yes. Bam. It's somewhere in that doc. You'll find it. So what we need to do is, wish this would give me hex in real time. We're going to say pound 0078FF. And then we're just going to go down the line. So here we'll do, this might not be the best website, but whatever. 9. I wish I would do it in real time. Users 34C759. Everybody loves colors. And then once we have these, and you can just copy my code forever, and you'll have all these system values forever. So there's that. 88, 6, 4, 13. Boom. 5. At least you can tab it. 2, 5. Man, colors. Amazing how they work. 5. Convert. Boom. I should also do. There you go. Bang. What? Go. Alright, purple. And I haven't eaten anything all day either. I kept pulled from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting. And then I was like, oh, I should probably have eaten something today. And I didn't. And I don't know what I want for dinner. I'm all by myself. Bad. I don't want to go and buy something too much because I don't want leftovers. I gotta leave. So, like, means like I can't stream too late because then everything's gonna be closed. It's like I'm all over the place today. Hey Bill, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Glad to also see that you fixed up all your problems, got it all taken care of. Thanks for chilling. And we're working on more light and dark themes so people can pick and choose their own adventures. 1, 2, 1, 7. What we're doing here is
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Thanking Apple for doing all the hard work. Doing everything. Ooh, Mario. Thank you for the follow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you for the follow. I get real excited sometimes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 3:30 a.m. Oh my goodness, bedtime. See ya. Thanks for stopping by for just a little bit. I super appreciate it. So. Oh, Maria. Sorry. Ooh, Maria. Sorry. Thank you for the follow. And for the correction. I appreciate it. Sometimes I just read too fast. That's a problem. Okay, so let's see. System 3. And 209, 209. I know this is what everybody was like, oh man, James is gonna be great, he's gonna like do coding. They're just doing color conversions. It's the most important thing that you could do right now. Because it's 2 4, like I got so hard, it's so hard to do 2 4 2 2 7. All right, cool. So these are our base colors. And what we're able to do is take this base theme, and over here we have a dark theme, boom. And we have a light theme, boom, which is cool. So the light theme actually doesn't need anything different inside of here. So it's just normal colors in general that are here. But we need to now convert this for the dark theme like we did for this base theme. So it shouldn't take too much time. So let's go through it really quick. And we will, for all intents and purposes, take this and do the reverse of this. So we have light theme, very lightning-y, and dark theme. So we're going to do, notice that's just very subtly different. 1, 3, 2, 2, 5, between the two. So that's important. Talking with Frank on the podcast, he opened up my eyes that a blue on a dark theme versus a blue on a light theme are actually dramatically different. So unless you're a designer that is designing specific colors for those, how are you supposed to know those things? I mean, that's really hard to know. So luckily, Apple has done a lot of the hard work, at least for these base colors there.
While you're gonna wake up and work hard at it, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible.
Chris N T R. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. You only get one of those a month. You gave it to me, good buddy. He's probably out there playing pinball. Thank you so much. Welcome back. You got those sweet, sweet emotes. That is correct. Thank you so, so much for it. I appreciate it. And we'll be making a donation, of course. Let me go ahead and put this up. Have a donation will be made. Oh, I put a arc down in. Nice work, Bill. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Skip those app up. Nice. Bill says, stop jet lag 788 has been approved. Rolling out. Nice. Very cool. I didn't do anything. Bill, you did all the hard work. You just emailed me and then I didn't do anything. There you go. So, you did all the hard work, my friend. My friend. All right. What are we on? I forgot what color we're on now. Oh, gosh darn it. I guess we're on 92... 230 indigo. Hello from Brazil, Angelo. Welcome. Color perception is hard. Orange. It's like I didn't even think about it. Just that, oh, it'd be completely different, just a little bit. I mean, the colors aren't that dramatically different. However, I mean, it makes sense that your orange doesn't need to be as pronounced on a screen as compared to the other one, or else it will sort of blind you in a way. So here's our pink. Now this is nice that it's already built in to iOS already. I don't know anything about Android. I don't know if they have a color system in place or not. Did I forget green? I kind of did this. I should have done it the other way where I left them blank. Did I do that one? No, I did that one. Green's there. Got it. No, I don't know what I'm on. Did I just do purple? Oh god. I could just do purple. 2, 5, 5, 9, 5, 8. Chris N TR, thank you for the bits. 100 bits. We'll also make a donation with those bits. Super duper appreciate that. I just do red. Validate that I did 91, 90. And now we're on teal, 100. Color. Yellow is going to be 5, 2, 4, 10. Hurt. Then there's also accessibility things too. So there's actually like default and then accessible. I don't necessarily know what the difference is there. So there's additional colors for accessibility colors. So if accessibility modes was on, that's what my assumption is. So it says iOS offers a range of system elements that automatically adapt to vibrancy and changes in accessibility settings like increasing contrast and reduced transparency. Oh my goodness, Luce, thank you so much. Sharing some rewards with the chat as well. Thank you so much. Of course, we'll be donating some of that profit over to the Malala Foundation, which help women and girls all over the world so they can help learn and in everything. Yeah, so this is also the other thing that you'd want to do. So technically, you'd want to maybe have you'd have more themes, right? So if we were really doing this in full effect, what we would end up doing is we would do a light theme, a dark theme, and then an accessible light and dark theme in general, right? So you could put on high contrast mode and then you would see what the system is. And we should actually do that pull request to essentials to do that, which would be cool. So, but this is a great article. Again, I'll drop this into the Twitch chat in case you didn't have it. Because if you're doing native iOS and Android, or native iOS or iOS with Xamarin, this will have be in there. Can you detect if high contrast mode is available or is enabled? Good question. Oh, from Microsoft. iOS. Good question. UI accessibility. UI accessibility informal protocol provides accessibility information about the app. Assistive, voiceover. See high con. I'd imagine yes. My assumption is act high contrast mode iOS. But Swift at the end. How to tell smart invert detect I don't know. My assumption is that there would be something. Let's look at this Medium post. When in doubt. Oh, we got a Chris NTR says, is there a way? Ooh. Apparently there's no public API for whether that option is on. You can only check this. Cool. Thanks, UI. That seems very odd. In general. Yeah, that seems odd. My assumption is that Apple would do it automatically for you, question mark, because there's always been the high contrast mode, but traditionally that's just been invert. And the question is there even an option for that? And I'm not positive in iOS. I don't have an iOS. Like if you go into your iOS settings, is there an option to turn on or off like high contrast, or is it just invert colors? Because it might be this new one where there's light and dark XYZ. I'm not sure. So That is something we need to look up, I think. So it's showing, so it is showing you what the colors will look like when accessible. Oh, it must be it. So maybe that's what it's doing. So maybe it's not, it will automatically apply these. That'd be good to know. I'm becoming more and more cognizant of accessibility in all regards, and it's small things to start out with, but it is. This is the grays are the gray. Gray is the same. Oh wow, crazy. 99. Gray is gray, and that's okay too. 72. Really wanted to order Domino's tonight. That was really gonna be like my go-to, but I'm like, I don't know if I can have a whole pie sitting around. It just seems inappropriate. I don't know if I can eat an entire pie by myself. I don't have any friends, so besides all of you, of course. But in Seattle, so I'm like, what am I gonna do? They're cool. They kind of line up. Get the cheesy bread. I was just by a Domino's too. I was actually really close by when I was getting gas, and I was like, oh man, you know what I should do? I should see if they have like pizza on demand, like a Little Caesars. And I walked in, I was like, do you have pizza on demand? They said no, they got to make it. So I have heard that there are some Domino's pizza on demand places. So that's what I've heard at least. All right, cool. So we got that. I've also realized that I missed that. And base theme. Let's read the chat a little bit here. Off topic for anyone wanting to understand more about color. Oh, Mr. Freelance, thank you so much for that link. I will go back and definitely watch that. Good, like good old TED Talks. Maybe that is what it is. I'd have to text on an emulator, but I would love to have a mode in my app that says high contrast, you know, and then it goes into that theme, just another Boolean. Like, why not give them the option in general in your app if you're doing it that way? That would be ideal, I think. All right, cool. So if you're writing your own theme, you'd want to have a manual accessibility option that enabled those colors like you were saying. I believe so. I think that would be the ideal. Oh, a few of us have a call with David about accessibility. Yeah, good. More people should care. Hey, Fanny, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nagimental forms templates have automated properties. Pretty easy. I could ping Jimmy on that. We should. We should. Correct. We should. So I think what we want to do here is our app. I have no idea. I forget what state it was in. There's that. So see if our Android emulator is gonna come to us. So the other thing I want to do tonight too, we can definitely go through some of these things. So there's got point to not applying the theme correctly, so that's probably not. So this is kind of what it's doing, by the way. I think here. Is Hansel informs Hammer informs V next? It's just current for all intents and purposes, just kind of current. I don't think that's it. I'm curious what it was. Let's take a peek. And while we're, you know, it'd be a function. Take a peek. Not a great Not a great error message. I don't even log it with anything. Yeah, there's a lot of different things in accessibility to think about.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
D7 EM70. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Welcome to the stream. There's no... Oh, I have these delays in here. Also want to change. I don't know. You can't see it here, but a little shadow. State of always loading. This Android emulator, I like that there's like no icons. Why does it have no... I don't know, this Android emulator is so weird. Android Wi-Fi. Good. Where's the pull request for it? For this? For this one? This is the Yeah, we should do it. I know. I blame Jimmy. Blame Jimmy. The one thing I really wanted to do is, can I set emulators from blog? There we go. All right, so it loaded. How did it not hit this exception? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, it's actually returning 0 items. Go to go to implementation. I probably am hiding all the exceptions in the app. Ooh. Oh, I log it. Like a good developer, I log it. View, output. Unable. Like a good developer, I don't. Apparently. What? My assumption here is that we should probably like throw EX to really get that exception up. Like I'm just eating the exception, which seems incorrect. Oh, move that. Oh. And I'm guess if oh yeah. What did I see? So do I have internet? Yes. Of course, required. I have JSON. I have no JSON. Good. Get it. Get nothing back. Of interest. So let's debug a new problem tonight. It'll be easy. All right, let's All right, well, let's check in this code. This will be add new colors. All right, let's go ahead and save and commit this. And what we're gonna do now, while that's committing, is we're gonna debug this function. Debugging it. EDM mix.
It should also read that I crushed it from 2013 to present.
All right, let's close the solution. And I just like to change branches and like reopen it. I'm a little bit of a quirky dude when I change branches. So the question is, what did Scott do? Oh, all the apps are there. Classic Android emulator. So fast. Question is, what did Scott do to his backend? So let's look at our blog function. And let's also make sure we get our bits in for the day. Chris NTR shared 1 hundo on October 8th. So King with Loose shared 2 hundo 8th. Okay, let us debug this. The other thing we can do too is we could go into our function and try to run it manually. Well, I think about moving the data service to an Azure function. I already did. %TR, the entire data service is one big Azure function. My problem may be, yeah, so we have an Azure function because you haven't been following along, my friend. We have all these Azure functions to update the blog, get the blog feed, do all the things. So here, when I run, like how that one, like, so if I run this back, log update. So whatever's happening is not updating log. Oh, now it's there. Oh. Okay, well, that's interesting. Huh. I can look at the log. So now I fixed it because I just ran it again. But very logs? Log update. Activity log. Log stream. What? I don't pay for that, I guess. Well, now it's gonna work. So something clearly went wrong previously. So, all right, well, it works now. So there we go. Great. All right, well, let's switch back then to my themes branch and I'll just go to town. Yeah, it works when you rerun the function. So that is something I'll need to debug and figure out what's going on there. I could also in here, if it, in the blog function, something I could do is I could read the blob, and if the blob contents is false, I could probably trigger another function. I guess I could do that. I'm not sure exactly how to do tests, but okay. Well, let's not debug the backend then. Oh, that's good. Debug backend debugged. Did it. Good. So the thing that we want to do is we want to go into our
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Kitty Kayo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Eight Kayo 03 for the follow. Welcome to the squad. That's happening. So we can also do this. So this should work. Okay, so if I go into my Android action bar setting. Why are we naming all of it? Yep. So here we have a light theme. Do it, play some pinball. What are you? Oh, are you playing pinball or are you just? Oh my goodness. Thank you for the bits.
James M5 coffee mug.
You can also write stuff and I'll talk back. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for the bits. You know, we need to make sure that the cheers actually are recorded because I flipped back. Did I do it? That one should be recorded. Let's put it in this log collection. But Chris NTR cheered 100 on October. All right, so a few things we want to change here. So I'm very cognizant now that I close all these puppies. Files. We have a base theme, a dark theme, and a light theme. I think in the base theme, there we go. Kind of curious of how I can with all these styles. I think here we can literally move all of the. I think this base theme. So I actually want to get rid of this base theme. I want this to all live in my app. So that's something that's going to happen. I'm going to get rid of this too. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go into my base theme. And we're just going to clean this up because I don't love how this all. I don't think it really works well with. I go into my app. And I don't want that. What I want is everything just to be in here. One happy thing. Get rid of that. Get out of here. Put this here. Then I want to go into my icons. Icon. Delete this. I just want it to be very simple for some reason. I just put everything in one file. It's fine. No big deal. And here we're gonna put in our. We're gonna put in our icons. Here, boom. And here, this will be our control theming. Here's these are just colors. Colors. Boom. Too late now. Yeah. Anyone streaming? Anyone playing? I watched don't panic flip. Don't panic flip. Yeah, he was doing some coding the other night on his app, which is kind of cool. Okay. So now we have this. So let us do this here. So I'm curious if I can do something like this value. So sure. Give this a run. Oh. Get rid of these icons. Cool. I just think this is very simple. Like everything's in the app. Here's the light theme. Here's the dark theme. They're just colors. Everything else uses these static and dynamic resources. So here's like the label color, things like that. But I think instead of label color, we actually want to use a gray. One thing that would be nice from Apple is Apple actually has colors for label and secondary label and tertiary label, but they don't give you the color. It's kind of a bummer. I don't know how to get it. My assumption is that they have a so they actually have dark gray. Cyan. These are the adaptable. I was really hoping that they would give me those colors of whatever the fonts would be, because that would be beneficial. So my thought here was, if, for instance, I went into my dark theme here, on my app, instead of my labels using label color, what if it used system gray? Be this up here. So that would be this here. I think it looks really good. So then, instead of having like label colors, we could get rid of the label colors because we don't really use them anymore. Could just be some gray. Oh my goodness. Oh, you got an emote. What? Well, I got an emote. That doesn't make any. Oh, I got an emote. What? What emote did I get? Whoa. People are getting emotes? What the heck? How cool is that? Thank you for the emote. Boom. 250 bits. Go ahead and put that in some view. We'll put it right in our app XAML. Dope. I have no idea how Twitch works at all. MJ Free Lanson appeared 250 on the. How does that work? Did everyone else get stuff? Everyone else get emotes? Hope so. Thank you for the bits. Anyways, thanks Chris NTR for the late night hanging out. Appreciate that. Hope you have a good time watching some pinball. See, I want to get rid of these borders. Ooh, that's definitely an issue. That's a kill button. That is it. What is that? What is that? Use? About? Is that? That is a material button. Is there a...
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing.
John Galloway in the house, setting up the hosting with one viewer, aka himself, Mr. John Galloway, people. Mr. John Galloway. Welcome to the stream. John, hope you're here. Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate that. Very curious. If I say background color was is that updating here? It is. Why? I don't get the ripple on this, but that's funny. But that's probably correct. Shouldn't be material button. Maybe I just don't even need. Oh no, I do need that. Material button. It's like a. It's not a great name for material button. It's still right there. Primary dark. Oh, I wonder if this needs to be not primary dark. This needs to be. Welcome, Mr. John Galloway, to the stream. And the two people, the raid party of two. If you're not following John Galloway, you gotta be following John Galloway. Go press that button and go follow the John Galloway right now. We're gonna go over here. He's a good person. Can't tap on his thing. Go to twitch.tv/John Galloway. Right here, hosting me. Wow. Let's see how many followers he's up to. 52. Affiliate status coming soon. Go smash that follow button for the John. John's awesome. He does all sorts of ASP.NET stuff. We were doing a lot of stuff together. You need to be following him. For sure. Hey, Honey Pop. How's it going? Good morning. Good evening for me. Good morning for you. Cool. We are doing some stuff. So this is of interest. I think what we want to do here is we want to use window background color here, but I think that that's kind of what we wanted. Background color. Oh, that's the wrong one. We're not setting the background color. Oh, we are setting the background color to transparent. Border color to transparent. Huh. I think. Oh, I know what happened here. You need to set the visual to default. That will do it. Do you know if there's a Blazor library for Xamarin Web Lottie that Airbnb made? If there's a Blazor library. Oh, I don't know. The Lottie. Probably Lottie Web, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's just the normal one. So whatever they do. I think. I don't know. I just sent you a random NPM packet. So maybe that's right. I don't. It doesn't look like it is. It says it's by somebody else. So I don't know. And that's the Xamarin one. So yeah. Do not know. Right. So, okay. This is not working. I can just... How'd your stream go, John? We go amazing. Stupendous. Amazing. Log collection. So, For instance, what we can do here is we could set up. Here we just have like primary color on this pancake view is here. So what we'd want to do is see like system blue. And then on, I think I also kind of like the idea of using instead of primary, we kind of want to get rid of primary color. Able to look. Ew. Oh, I definitely broke that. I did get my hot reload to work. We figured out what it was last time, by the way. Last time we figured out it was a... Not one. Last time we figured out that it was basically my... Well, it was a weird, really weird machine configuration thing. And something with permissions of files and... how it was loading it because Visual Studio was installed. So I was on different user profiles. It was kind of weird. So, anyways, we figured it out. We figured it out. What is this doing? I definitely have something broken there. And now I'm on a brand new machine. So I'm on a new machine. So, I feel like this should... Correct. So I want to figure out why when I call pull to refresh, it doesn't... I have this long bug in my code for some reason that debug. Pull to refresh. As if this thing never gets called. Refresh command. Is it not? Oh. Is it? Why doesn't it do it? This is a. Well, it's just an emulator. This is Android 9.0, so it's pretty much recent. I would say more recent-ish. Good. I got my Sweet Maria order, John Galloway. Honeypop says that's just JavaScript. You can use JS interop in Blazor, but not directly. You'd have to use the JavaScript interop probably for that. Else you would have to port it somehow. I don't really know. Let's see here. So comes here, load command gets executed. Boom. All right. Is busy, false. Calls it. Got some data, I guess. Quick. Get it. Boom. Now, what is gonna happen if I go do it? Open it. Do it. I don't know. Did you Google Blazor Lottie? I don't know. That'd be cool. It should be doable. It's just JavaScript on the hood. Yeah, I don't see it on there. Nothing I can find. Yeah, I don't see it. This is here. Pull to refresh. Is not calling my code. Why isn't it calling my code? That's the problem, is it's not calling my code. Oh. Well, the refresh you not working? Let's update some nuggets. When in doubt, update NuGet packages randomly. Why isn't it calling my code? That's a great question. They implemented it. Is enabled. Oh. Making sense. Check for disabling the refresh view command. Oh, I wonder if I need to flip. Alright, so I think maybe I can update something. My thinking here is that let's see. Buy this. Let's leave it. Let's try to get off. So my question is, why isn't it called? Assumption could be, I don't know why I have this. Remove some of the because it's always enabled, so it should be fine. Maybe that's the problem, is it was respecting the command. No, it's me. Give that one. Look at our new. John forgot how to code, but other than that, it was okay. That was good. What'd you work on? Anything fancy? Fancy stuff. Also, John, we did a demo earlier of my new light setup. Did I show you my light setup? So I did consolidate? I don't know what consolidate. This play the same. Oh, consolidate. Consolidate is if you have installed different versions in different projects. So if you accidentally installed one, for instance, in the wrong one, then that would be consolidates them into the correct package. It's just installing. You're like auto detect.
And now for something completely different.
Bit out of the intense music, late night, chill, relax. I guess I have the latest Xamarin Forms. All right. Oh. Yeah, definitely using Shiny. Shiny. I wanna. Shiny. Yeah, Alan Ritchie was on the stream maybe quite a few months ago now, but he helped me implement background sync. So in the background, the app will synchronize and update the feeds and stuff like that. Be correct. I'm curious if I could do I command and I command. Could be command, which I have already. This should be a. So the other thing I've done before. Sort of like a little hacky when I come to this. Think, execute, refresh. Here, I need async. Here, if we just get rid of that, and then here we'll do bit cleaner, good old async. Ah. I guess it needs to be. Oh, I wonder if I could do that work. And then just do like true. Oh, I could. That work? Now, kind of. I guess I would do like T. That. But that means I gotta pass something into it. I guess I could do that. I wonder if that'll work. It is an async command of bool, but I don't actually pass it anything. Could be it. Shouldn't matter. I think that'll work. 50-50 on it. So are you a pro streamer now, John? Is John still here? Is John gone? Late night for John, 7:30. Did John eat dinner? That's important, John. You gotta stay hydrated. Gotta eat dinner. Oh no. John's gone. As he should have. He should have left by now. Out of here, John. John, get out of here, bro. Let's go his code. Save yourself. Classic John usually abandons me. Kind of like basically his MO really at the end of the day. John just says, hey, I'm here, and then he's like, deuces. Did you watch his feed? His stream? How did he do? I'm very proud of him. Oh. That's launched. Okay. So let's see if this works. So blog. Oh. True. That's good. Oh. Shh. Don't tell John. Don't tell John. All right. I'm going to take a quick break here. Daniel. Okay, before we go and take a break, Daniel ask a good question. Is async command new? It is new in MVVM helper. Check it out. Bam. I just added async command over there with a bunch of good stuff. Worked with a bunch of people. It's in the preview nougat still, but should be working. Invalid parameter for type. What did that do? What I just did. Well, I guess maybe to do. I guess here I could just. Work. This is very strange. Could work. I wonder if this needs to be async command is a I command. Also an I async command. Wondering if that's what. Oh, what? Invalid command parameter. Do that. Oh. Yes. Oh, What happened? That's interesting. I totally forget how I even... MJ says, don't you love it when you plan to do acts and you end up... I do. I'm completely down a rabbit hole now of doing something completely. Which is great. I'm just like, oh. Uh-huh. Ah! Gosh darn it. I'm just rabbit holing. Okay, so I need to understand what just happened in that library, because that doesn't seem correct. So yes, okay, so if I do, hold on, undo some of it. Okay, so that says that, and if I go into this, let's say like I command. I think this was the and my code. So let's see what happened here, because that is interesting. So what has happened is that I have tons of async command. Int, put in a delay. Default, hello. I think the difference is that what happened is it's definitely throwing an exception that says that go to now I'm sidetracked. Blondie, no. My async command. It's also my async. Is valid command. Valid command parameter. So we should be able to run this. So what we just did, let us repro. Do you know S Raven? We had our code. This should be valid. put this here. Okay. Do refresh command here. So, should be able to do now is this to be able to say refresh command dot true. This should just work. Is the argument expected to be a reference type? Didn't get a long enough utils code. Yeah, so the utils code, so we're just going to kind of go into. That's what's throwing an exception. The question ends up being twofold. One, when it is called execute, does the parameter get sent? And it should. And it's a base T, so it should be above it. Should pass it down. Or you have a bug in this code. Either way. So what the command utility checks is that. So here we get true. Go into it. So the object is true. The T is the valid not equal? No. It's true. True is true. Valid. Definitely works. That looks correct. No, how it in our Well, and that's the funny part, is that it actually calls into this method. So I'm kind of confused how anything else is calling this load command. Doesn't seem to be being called any other way. That's what's very curious about the crash, is that at one, it looks correct. It doesn't have to be a reference type. It could be any type, technically, from what it should be. But yeah, so here's the thing: is it just called this? Like it's in it. You know what I mean? It's literally in it, right? How is it valid? Does it seem? definitely right there. It's just that. Yeah. So if it doesn't go there, then it looks at the underlying type. So. Because this is basically checking is null a valid option in general. The issue we have here is that give us invalid type for expected type. Expected. So create error message. Ah, okay. Okay, so we know that actually it did actually think it's null, because something happened where it didn't think it was null because it created a different error message for than what it should have done. I can think happening. But yeah, I could do that here where I put in a do it I think to be the more valid. Works. It's the oh, I see. I see. So the view is, where's this coming? It's the blog view model. And so okay, so I think what's happening here is that this is the refresh view calling refresh on load. So the issue I see. I think that this refresh command is, this makes sense. Okay, so for some reason, I think that this is calling it. Why would it do that? I feel like it shouldn't call it. setting is refreshing to true will execute refresh command if it exists. That is an don't think that that's how it should, but I think that's what I want to do. So this refresh command is what's causing the issue because it is actually it says it's merged. Refresh command doesn't fire if you set that. I don't know if that was actually in the code though. I might have changed what I did. So see, refresh command gets called. Oh, it gets created. That will cause an issue.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
I know what I'm doing. Amaran line 206. Welcome. It just needs to be that. I think that's all. I think it's creating it, but it doesn't. It just needs to be a normal. Why do you want is refreshing to be true whenever you load the page? I don't. What I want is what I want to have happen is when the page loads, I'm gonna load the content. Boom. And I'm gonna load stuff here and fire it off, and it's gonna get called again for some reason. I think because yeah, that gets set to true. But now I think it works. Oh. It wrong. So I used to do in my app. I mean, it's a new control that's not documented yet, so there's that. I think the idea is that when it I used to just do one way, which was only set it I don't know why I'm having a hard time figuring out how to this. Check. At least is refreshing. One. There. That is, so if I do one way, Doesn't go. Ah. Get confused. Hold. I want it to be both ways. I want it to be. I think it's just a James bug. I think it's what it is. I think it's a brand new control that I don't understand. Do you have it documented yet? I don't know if we. It's not even released yet. Using unreleased. No, I don't. Undocumented, unreleased stuff. So, like, that's good. That then. Stupid. I think this would be mode one way to source. I think that's what I want. Because the thing that's happening here is that the command, when you execute the command, it will set the Boolean correctly because it is refreshing. Busy, but you only want it. Don't want. Busy is true. I think what I want is I think I want. So I don't think I can use the is busy because I use the is busy for other things in my app to determine if things are happening. So this it's just a James bug for my because I'm doing the because it's a new control. So really what I want to have is like a bool is question. What's that? And I think here it's I think now when I have is refreshing, what we can do here is also do that makes sense. Is that's good. So that will be. I could set it directly in the XAML. It's correct. I'm curious if I even need to. I need to set the binding. Oh, that's it. So the problem that I was having is that I was using the is busy for multiple things. In the past, this would be okay because I created my personal control to handle this, and I had it where the user was in control. And now it's more like I need to determine if this is refreshing. I need to tell it to stop refreshing when it's true or when I'm done. So here's like is busy. And now if I refresh it, I do error here. Oh, groupable items adapter. That's bad. That's a Xamarin Forms. That's better. A bug. I do. I think this is, yeah. I think now I figured out this bug where, yeah, because I was using is busy in multiple contexts. So like when I pulled to refresh, is busy would be set to true, but it really wasn't actually loading data. You know what I mean? So, and that's the thing, is the control is setting it. So now this makes sense. The control was setting the value. I'm using the value to determine if I should be able to refresh, hence infinite state forever. So. Here, getting called. I should. Good ID. I don't even know why I'm doing it there. Do bug dot line. Thank you. Right out because I'm in debug mode. Good call. Something with the there's something with V. I think that the collection view has some issues with observable the range. Funny because it actually adds it and then it throws an exception. I'm curious if you, instead of just observable range color, I do my non-observable range color. Let's see. I think it is something with the collection view. I think that's the issue. It's something with the collection view that still is not right with this, but this might already be fixed. It sort of thinks it's already. I'm gonna ask the. New. Not just this one. I don't think so. I mean, this was saying. If anyone. There we go. Badoop. This is definitely a thing in progress. Oh, there it is. There's the bug. Boom, boom. Found a solution for this. Problem actually started when I cleared the data. This is definitely it. Okay, so there we have it. So it's because of this clear, funnily enough. Yeah, so it's kind of like a bug, but it's not my bug. So I don't really gonna do anything except for leave it here. Good. It is a bug. It's a bug in this. Open pull request here. Fix crash adding items to it. So the second time is because it actually does it. It actually clears it and then re-adds it. So that should be just fine. At least now it'll work. At least to load the item. The thing we want to do here is we want to clean some stuff up. So what we're going to do is out of our styles, I'm going to figure out what my primary color is, which I think I want it to be some blue here. And I want this accent color could be yellow. And app. Yeah, seems to be. Dark color, I don't know what I want. Use that anywhere. I do. I think that's what it is. Get rid of accent. We have a background color. We have a transparent window. Do we use this anywhere? Up as much. Do. Right, this is good. Do we use secondary label color anywhere? Thing anywhere? Full color anywhere? Bunch of places, but we're going labels because I think we get rid of those. Label color. Light theme, we'll get rid of. So cool, that is good. And also have this dynamic resource shell title color, which will be our gray, system gray. Then here we also want this to be our selected and unselected. So our selected and unselected color in our app themes are, for all intents and purposes, unselected color is gray. So we should just mess around with it. I just want to kind of get rid of as many colors as that makes sense. So instead of just having all of these things, just like use, unless I have to. Placeholder text color should not even be there. Yeah, it's like, see, I have all these colors in. So get rid of these. Get rid of the frame borders. Okay. Get that. This. Go into my app. Get rid of the light theme. Get rid of this. Cool. So now when I go into app, we have a refresh view. This would just be our primary color, which will adjust automatically. We have a system gray color, a primary color, background. So we have go into our app shell, and now I think they're working on that. They actually have that for Android. So if you go into Android, I think they're working on that. Shell tab bar background color. guess I did want that. Go into our gone done and me. So this was a very specific dark theme. Put that back. Shell tab bar background. Light theme. And then we also have our let us I need to set these. That is for sure. Yeah, that is correct. Those. All right, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be back in 6 seconds. Run an ad really quick and then we'll be back. Hold on. Might play an ad. Who knows? I don't actually know if that played an ad, but we got my yo. Take a little bit. Probably. Chemistry experience here. What should I eat for dinner? It's gonna be 9 o'clock, so the good question is Ben. AKA not much. Probably make a turkey burger. Got a turkey. I have nothing else. Those are good tweets. Alright, so the other thing we want to do now that things are working again, is we want to do something. What would be cool on this page, at least, is to experiment a little bit. So let us do something. Views. Root. Settings. I think would be cool in here is if I had I just did a box view height request of, I don't know, 20. A console option. Then what we could do, I want to really make sure that these are different colors. So I want to do I'm gonna do a. Oh, I guess that's kind of nice. Cause dynamic resource system. System. One IntelliSense. Oops. Come on, come back to me. Come back to me. Some purple. I think we have some more. Red. So. Those are there's obviously messed up system yellow, so that no did. These all look correct. Yellow. Light theme yellow is boom. I think it's very subtle. There's definitely some differences. I like this the swoosh on the bottom. Seeing that? That's cool. Goodness, it's a kitten raid. Look out, people. Get those monkeys ready if you got them. This is the best raid ever. Oh my goodness.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Oh my goodness. It is Raid City up in here. Get those Capuchin and Dukes out. And those coffee mugs, people. Oh my goodness. Fierce Kitten, thank you so much for the raid. And bits be flying everywhere. Oh my goodness. The rain and kittens. This is the best raid. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Kittens raid.
Thank you so much. That kittens raid coming out so good. Let us get some
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
let's get this going here. Goodness, this is ridiculous. We're gonna get some cheers up in here. Savav Blount cheered 10 on Oct 18th 2019. You're in my source code forever. Twice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kittens raid.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. It's raining kittens everywhere. This is the best raid ever to happen in my entire life. Thank you so much.
Way up, I feel blessed.
Oh my goodness. So many follows up in here. Thank you so much. Fierce Kittens, thank you for the follow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you for the follow. Acrophobic Pixie, thank you for the follow. Whoa, 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 whoa. TJ, thank you so much for the follow. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Kidda Loves SM, thank you for the follow. My
Way up, I feel blessed.
Ego, Boris, so many follows. Thank you so much. Whoa, 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 whoa. BBNVA, thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness, I'm so far behind. BT630IL, thank you for the follow. These things are all behind up in here. This is amazing. That Engine, thank you for the follow. My goodness, this is amazing. C Sharp Fritz, welcome. Top Custom, thank you for the follow. Whoa, 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 whoa. So my goodness, I've been in this whoa, 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 whoa mode for some reason. I don't know why. Kittens, verified. I didn't even know you were verified already. Oh my goodness, I think I gotta check out this. And I think it's got some partners up in here. Look out, people, we got partners up in here. Goodness, thank you so much. More Dukes in here. Really make sure. And we got some more bits coming in.
Kittens raid.
I don't have any bits, but I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of them there.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Oh my goodness, we got some code. There we go. I'm way behind on my. I feel like Ninja just raided me. That's not even possible anymore. So I think everything over here is like broken. Jorian57, thank you for the cheer of the 10. Super duper appreciate that. Additionally, we're also all of the profit that I have here from subs, from bits, anything like that, all goes to charity. Currently, we're raising funds for the Malala Fund, which is working hard all over the world to enable every girl to learn and lead, which is an awesome charity in all things, not just STEM, but all different things. My wife recommended that charity to me, so I spent some time brushing up them, which is super awesome. Wow, we got so many follows coming in. TJ, I did thank you already. Thank you so much for the follow. We're working on some code. I'm implementing a light and dark theme for my Hanselman application. I've been working on this for a bit, and we're in the final stages. We just put in some nice system colors over here, so when I go from light to dark mode, these colors just tint a little bit, which is nice. Let me go ahead and put the what in here.
Way up, I feel blessed.
This Drake going all over the place. Madness. Which is really nice. So we got this going on, and thank you for the double, Jorian. Boom, you're in their code twice over here. Hello, Haynes. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're just doing some late night coding over here. We just figured out some sweet colors. We have this really great article. Ooh, I like that blur underneath. Very nice. I had this very nice article from Apple that was describing colors. So I'm gonna put that in the chat there if you're interested. And then I believe since I'm using these colors, what's nice is they also describe the accessible colors and what color will be used when accessibility is turned on. Tiago, thank you so much for the follow. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Follow train up in here. That is amazing. My goodness. I appreciate that. I do a lot of coding, usually Friday, usually earlier, but I was in a super secret Microsoft meeting that I can't talk about. I do like to say it was super secret, but it was super cool.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Hat and sandals guy. That's better than socks and sandals, so I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Mike Cleese says, are you standing and coding? Yes. Standing, coding. That's right. Standing, coding. Who's Aubrey? Aubrey. There you go. Jorian's
We'll
chairs
cheer
are
for
coming.
code immortality.
Code Immortality. That's what I needed to name it. So, hi again. Dorian, thank you so much
We'll cheer double for a great cause.
for the doubles. And now we're just going to have a little kitten paw right there. All right. So,
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Hurtful Username is now following. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Interesting name. I was sitting here while you were coming out. I was admiring the swoosh over here. I just want to make sure that people point out here is that when you swooshy it, oof. I don't know. That's
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Barking Bird, thank you for the follow as well. Wow, the follow. I have no idea. Did something else did someone else raid me? I have no idea what's happening. Oh, oh my goodness. That's because Fierce Kitten raided me with a party of 111. That's the biggest raid ever. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid. So, I didn't even see the number that was coming in. My goodness. Yeah, so I've been working on this app for a long time. This Hanselman app. And you can find the code on my GitHubs. You can pull it down. It's iOS, Android app. I have an Azure Function backend in here. Shared code between the backend, back and forth. I think Fierce Kitten's trying to help me reach that partner status one day. One day. Appreciate that. And so now we're making it super accessible. Here in the app, it does background syncing. You can view blogs. You can view podcasts over here, which is pretty nice. Scroll around. I can check out podcasts, which is cool. I can listen to podcasts. And I also have even video
I'm
playback
way up, I feel blessed.
too. So we have a little video playback here, which is nice. I need to get better videos for this. These are all of Hanselman's videos that are coming in. He's got a lot recently. That's under the... wasn't under Azure Friday. Figure out why. Really not Azure Friday. So probably a bug in the back end. Oh, and him, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to the stream. Our group from was learning very simple XAML for beginners. Can you quickly recap how you're using XAML to build an Android app? Wow. Yes, I can. Let's do it. I'm ready. C# Fritz. Let's change this stream, people. I am ready. Let's go ahead and hold on. Let's commit some code. Committing latest theme code. All right, here we go. So perfect. Let us go and ship this code really quick. Please hold while we ship it up.
It should also read that I crushed it from 2013 to present.
Perfect. Here's what we're going to do. So, if you were just learning some XAML basics over by Fierce Kittens, what's great about XAML as a markup language is that you can use it in a bunch of different varieties. So, you can use XAML for WPF applications. You can use it for UWP applications for Windows 10. And additionally, you can use your XAML skills to build native iOS and Android applications, and Mac applications, and Samsung applications for Tizen devices with Xamarin Forms, which is a cross-platform UI layer on top of Xamarin. So when I went to .NET here, you can build all these things. I don't know where you're building WPF or building other things, but there's desktop, and then under mobile is Xamarin. At the core level of Xamarin is the ability to build out native iOS and Android apps with C# and .NET. But we have this other part, which is nice, which is cross-platform user interface. So traditionally with iOS or Android, you would build separate user interfaces, but with Xamarin Forms, you can build cross-platform XAML user interfaces that render native controls on iOS and Android. So the core of what has happened here is inside of Visual Studio. Yes. Ooh, beautiful. Perfect. So let's do that. So when I installed Visual Studio, when you got started with desktop development, you probably tapped on this desktop development or UWP one. Well, right here is mobile development with .NET. And that's where Xamarin comes in. So let's do something completely different since I'm kind of done with my theming. A little bit advanced. Let's do a little learning session. I'm into it. So I booted up Visual Studio. I'm gonna say new project. And what we're gonna do here is there's a bunch of filters. So typically there's like all of this stuff, so many things. So many things. I'm gonna type in mobile, and that will pull up a mobile app with Xamarin Forms. Now, what's cool about this is the XAML syntax is similar, it's just kind of different controls with Xamarin Forms. So here I'm just gonna do a blank app, so let's do that. I'm gonna build iOS, Android, and Windows. So from right here, we can decide what type of app we want. It kind of gives you some stuff in it. And then you can select what platforms you want. And these are the 3 platforms that Xamarin Forms supports for the user interface. So kind of like the head projects, like what is the backend support. But there are also community projects for WPF and WinForms and other projects, things like that. So when this boots up, it's going to create all of my projects. So before, probably you just had a WPF application that had all of the XAML built into it. So with Xamarin and Xamarin Forms, it's a little bit different. So what we have up over here is a bunch of projects. So we have, first we have on the bottom where we have the head projects, I like to call them. So we have an Android project, an iOS project, and a UWP project in here. So this is just what I'm gonna deploy. And you can change which one you want to be the setup. So if I want to deploy to UWP or to Android, I can do that. And this is where any like Android code lives. So there's a bunch of like Android specific things in here, a bunch of iOS specific things. But for the user interface, what we can do is go into our shared .NET standard library. And that's where all of our shared code is going to go. And the cool part with Xamarin Forms is that the user interface is shared. So the things that you were learning in Fierce Kittens, like all the XAML, and if you did data binding, that's pretty much all the same. Just the controls have a little bit of a different name. So this application is like the starting point for my app. And this is where I put application resources like colors or strings. And when I boot up the app, it's going to create a main page. And that main page today, right here, has a stack layout and a label inside of it. So this would be very similar to a stack panel and a text control. I forget what the text control is in WPF, but it's there. And then we have a full toolbox over here, so I can kind of expand this out over here. We just go to town. We have a little previewer right here. Gonna set up a whole environment. So this is spinning up sort of like the designer in a way, but it's just a previewer, so I can put different controls down. So Xamarin Forms has a bunch of controls built in. So over here I could say, hello, Fierce Kittens followers, right? That says hello, Fierce Kittens followers. I can say font size. I could say 50. It could give it a specific property here and it would put that down. So what this is doing is on iOS, Android, or Windows, when I say label, it is going to create a native Android label. And if I put a button here, now I have a button on the screen and I could say, click me. And now I have a button that says click me. And this is going to render a native Android button that's there. So if I just run this, I'm just going to hit run here up in my debug menu. And I have, when you install Xamarin, it'll install Android components, SDKs, everything that you need. And it'll also install optionally Android emulators. So you can run Android emulators on your Windows machine, or you can do all of this on a Mac too. So what I'm doing is I'm compiling up this entire Android application and tries to click the button on the stream and face palms. I like that. So here, yeah, so now I have Hello Fierce Kittens right here. Boom. I can click it. It doesn't do anything, but it clicks, and now we have it. Now, what I like about our technology is that I can also just start to hit save, and then on my running app, it's actually here. And you can see the previewer is here too. If I drop that down, I just have this code. So here, I just have a button. I have a bunch of buttons, and we could just start to organize some things on the screen. So I could get rid of this here. So let's just go ahead and let's put down some boxes. So I'll just put like a background color of blue. And we'll say height request 50 and width request of 50. So I just have a box. There's a blue box. And it is not going to, even though and this is of interest actually. So I say I requested the width and height, but it actually made it bigger. And there are these things called vertical options and horizontal options. So by default, it's going to stretch. The parent is stretching across the screen. So it's going to try to stretch it. So here I'm just going to go ahead and put a few of these in here, and I'll say red, say orange. Go. And now we have some boxes. Now, just like a stack panel, if you're using stack panels or maybe grids over there, you have a stack panel, you have a stack layout. So stack layouts also have orientations. So by default, it's vertical, and whenever I hit save, it refreshes the page over here. Or I can make it horizontal, and that should change it to horizontal. But notice that it stretched the entire scene here, which is kind of annoying. And that is because, for all intensive purposes, it's the stack layout is trying to fill as much as humanly possible. So what I could tell it is, I could say start, and then I can also say vertical option start, and that will constrict it to say only make it as big as it needs to be. So now when I go back to vertical, now we're in vertical mode over here, which is cool. And stack layout is just one of the many layouts that are available inside of Xamarin Forms. Just like there's different layouts that you can do inside of WPF XAML. But here, for instance, we have like an absolute layout, which would be absolute positioning, flex, which kind of wraps items, relative, stack. I also like the grid, probably my favorite control. Grid's really cool because you can do all sorts of goodies. You might have been using this before, so you can have row definitions. I could say, you know what, I want a row of height to be 50 here. Then maybe I want grid.column definition. I can have 3 column. I could say width 50 here. So now what'll be cool is I can really clean this up, and I can say, okay, I got 3 box views are here. Now, this is interesting because I've defined this grid, and if I say background color equal, say, aqua, we can see the entirety of the grid is filled, but these boxes right here are different colors. They're just a box view here. And it's because I need to tell the grid where to put the boxes. And how it defaults is it defaults everything to 0, 0. So there's 1 row, 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. So here on this one, I could say grid dot column, and I could say 1, index 0. I hit save, and boom, we'll get another one. And then here I could say grid dot column, and I could say 2, boom. Yeah, so that was the problem, is it's Z order, right? So what happened here is I was basically saying stack everything 0, 0. So I'll give you like the default here. The default is to put everything in row 0, and then here I'm saying put everything in grid column 0, and they're stacking. So if I move orange underneath, now red's going to be on top. But what I really want to do is say grid 0, 1, 2, which is cool. And I can sort of stack these up for all intents and purposes. Or if I wanted to, maybe I only wanted a red and blue box, but I wanted this blue to span multiple. So I could say grid dot column span, and I could say span 2, please. And now it's bigger. Boom. You can have it span columns, span rows, do whatever you want. So this is cool because now I could tell this orange one, I could say grid dot row span 2. Boom. Almost like I could create like a Tetris sphere, right? If I wanted to, I could really end up creating like start to map it right inside of here. So I have all sorts of things. So just grids, rows, and columns. Hat and Sandals asks, how did you establish the grid blank space between the rows and columns? Great question. So there's a default property on the grid here. So there's a lot of things that are set by default, such as background colors, if it stretches, length, width-wise, things like that. So here, there is some properties called spacing. There's column spacing and row spacing. So if I wanted to, I could say column spacing, which is how many, we'll say pixels, but it's actually going to be different based on your device as far as density pixels go. I could say 50, and then now we get 50 in between, right? And then over in row spacing, we can also do that, and we could say 50. Then now it's 50 in between. Pretty cool. So we could actually build like an entire maze out of grids and rows and all sorts of things inside of here, and you can really build up this screen for all intents and purposes. But what this is displaying is still native controls and native drawing on Android, and this grid syntax is nearly identical. Now it looks like we're playing Snake. Yeah, so now it looks like, you know, at this point we're actually building some things. But let's actually build something. So let's start by doing something simple like a clicked handler. Okay, so I'm gonna say stack layout, and I'm gonna do a label here, and I'll say text. I'll say you clicked this 0 times. I'll hit save. Now we're here. It says you clicked this 0 times. And if we want to, we can start to, every layout can also have this thing called padding, which is how much space inside of it. So we could say, let's say 16, and give it a little space up here. And we could also maybe do like vertical or horizontal options and then center it. So we can now center it a little bit. Now we have a native control here, native label. And we could also say button, text, click to increase right, cool. So I have my UI, I can click, but I can't do anything yet. And this is where I need to stop debugging because I need to write some code. Yeah. Did that spacing apply to both the header and the indent? Great question. So here we have this thing called a content page. And I really like to set background colors because I think that's the easiest way to really see what's happening here. Background color. So if I save that, what we can see is that the padding is being applied inside the box. Okay, so there's the box, and there's padding inside the box. So it's saying, hey, everything inside me, go a little bit further away from me. So that's going to be full 16 up, down, left, right. So left, top, right, and bottom. I could change this though. So here, for instance, let me zoom out just a little here. There we go. Pull this over. If I wanted to, I could say 32, 16, 16, 16. Okay. So it's going to be left, top, right, bottom. So now we see it move over a little bit. If I did 32 here, we'll see it squish over. If I did 100, now it's going to push it down from the top. So it's going to basically put this big spacing around it. Now it's actually different than if I did something called margin. Now what margin does is what we can see is we have this Alice blue, or if I make this red, for instance, better to see, is what this did is it said, hey, place this stack label, the stack layout, sorry, inside of it, and then push it away from its parent. So margin pushes this away from its parent. And then padding says, children, this is how much space around you want. So if I did, you can mix and match. So if I did margin 10, now we have this inside of it. So we can see it actually move inside of it. 30, that's probably really small. 16, right? So you can mix and match these, because the nice thing here is you could say, maybe I want this button to be further away than the label. What you could do is you say margin, and I could say, I don't need to adjust the margin on the left, but maybe I want it to be 16 on the top. So now it'll push it down.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
NDM 199, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So that's sort of how you build it out a little bit. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and back out all the changes. Do pink, I like pink colors. Now we're back here. So now we need to interact with this thing. So I need to write some logic, some code. So I'm going to stop debugging here. And what we're going to add is a clicked handler. I'm going to say clicked, new event. And if I look over here in my main page, there's a little arrow here. And I'm not sure if all you did previously was UI work or maybe did some code behind, but here I have this main page. And this main page here is where that clicked event happened. So I can write some code in here. So for instance, I could do int equals 0. I could say int count. And then I could say count plus plus. So every time I do it, boom. Making buttons is what we're learning tonight. Still don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun. Well, it's good. So I did some buttons and click some buttons and you'll be good to go. So here we added a clicked event. So this will fire and it'll say, what it's saying is it's saying the button itself knows that when I click it to go do something. So when I click it, go ahead and call this method that's attached to it in the code behind. And that's what we want to do. Now, I also need to update this label here. And the way we do that inside of XAML is to give it a name. So if I go over here, there's all my properties. I should just be able to say name. Is it ID? I don't know how we actually. How do you do it from there? Cannot be here. The special property. And these are just properties on the label, but there's a special syntax called x:\name. I could say label count. And what this does, so x:\name, this, for all intents and purposes, in the code behind that we had, and code behind what I mean there is the code. The XAML here is my UI. The code is the code behind my XAML, which is cool. That's what I can manipulate. So this will expose. It kind of gives it a direct connection to say you can access this label from the code behind. So that's what it's going to do. So now when I come into my main page, code behind, here I'll zoom in, I can say label count dot. And now I can access all of those properties
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
that I had before. So I could say dot count or dot text and then set it equal to something, right? And then since I'm setting the property here, it'll update the user interface. Radio Oakley, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that coming in. We are learning and teaching some XAML user interface for Xamarin Forms, building an Android application. So this actually has access to it. So if I just ran this, right, I click a button, I set this label, and I change the code, so I need to recompile my app here. Ah, what language is this? This is C#. We are learning C#. Good video course here. So .NET video. So this is in C#. Here you go. My favorite programming. How I started and how I continue. So now, inside of Visual Studio here, I can hit add this little breakpoint. So there's this little, I forget what this thing is called. I'll call it a sled, a sidecar, a side bridge, a little area. And add these little breakpoints. And what that is doing is it's going to tell Visual Studio to stop, like break. It's going to break here so I can investigate my application. So when I hit click, yeah, I get that little arrow here. It when I run the app, it knows about my app running. Visual Studio knows about my app running here, right? It is, but I like how it's potatoes. I would say it's bananas. Kind of banana. So it knows about it, right? So when I zoom in here, I can actually hover over this label and look at all the properties because I have access to this actual thing here. The whole thing. Here's the text that says you clicked. Oh, you're a potato. And here, I can look at everything, right? So yeah, XAML has basically, that's correct, a little bit different dialect for building mobile apps versus building desktop apps. Slightly different, but a lot of the same things apply. It's very, very similar between the two, but just there are fundamentally different controls between mobile and desktop and different properties associated with. But the nice thing is the skill set of laying down controls is very, very similar. There's that text. Now, when I come in and I will step over, I guess is that F10? I never use the key F10. I'm gonna hit F10 on my keyboard. And now that property, something, is here. Now when I click continue, now we see something. Cool. So let's say we do want to set it to something in my UI and increase that count. So what I've done in this main page is I've created an integer that is, I set it to 0. So an integer is a number, just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then every time I click that button, I want to increase the count. So plus, 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 and plus plus is a little bit complicated too. If I zoom in again, what I'm doing here is I'm saying, hey, set count equal to count plus 1. There. Hat says, the Windows desktop apps are like the Seattle town, and mobile apps are like the coffee shop hipsters
I'm
dialect.
way up, I feel blessed.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Atrang High. Thank you so much for the follow. I don't know if I said your name correct, but welcome to the stream. So there's a few ways of increasing this number. So I could say, you know, count plus 1. I could also say count equals, I guess, plus equals 1. That also works here. So this is saying take whatever count is and plus equal a number. So 5, 6, and they'll take the count and we'll add that. There's this, and there's also count plus plus, which is cool. So what this does, these all three do the same exact thing in general. But the difference, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for stopping by, and thanks for this. The difference here is you can do a few different things. What you can do is you can actually do plus plus count. These are doing different things in general. So there's different operators that are occurring here. One happens before and one happens after. It's a little bit crazy. And we can see this in action. So this is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do something quite interesting. I'm going to do 2 labels here. I'll say label count 2. I'll just give it 2 for some reason. So what I could do here is I am going to say one's an incrementer and one's a decrementer. I don't know what that is. But what we want to do here is we want to say you clicked count I'm going to adjust this because they changed options over here and it upsets me. I don't want it to move the keyboard focus. There we go. So there's a few things that we could do here. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. This is C#, so very close. I'm going to say int count 2 equal. So in one instance, let's do 3. Let's do this. This will be fun. I'm going to say 3. All right, cool. So we have one way of doing it, which is literally doing anything ahead of time. So if I said count equals count plus 1, when I set this value here, so this is called C# string interpolation. So what this is doing is it's saying take whatever this is and print it here. So called kind of string concatenation. So this would say you clicked 0 plus 1, which is going to be 1 times. One times. So this would equal that because I've set the value ahead of time. Now, if I also did count plus plus here, it would be the same value because I'm setting the number here. And even if I did plus plus count, then this value, at the end here, it is done. It has finished doing it. So normally when I would write this code, I would do count plus plus, and I would do it ahead of time and put it here. But then some people are like, well, why didn't you put it, James, inside of it? And this is where it becomes really interesting. So let's say I did count 2 and then count 3. And let's say I do 1 before and 1 after. Let's run this puppy. Code at, closed out. So now, whenever I click this, let's add a breakpoint here. I'll hit click. And now, count is 0. I'm going to F10. And count is 1. Makes sense. I just incremented it. And when you TBD Gamer, thank you for the raid. People be throwing up. If you got Fierce Kittens up in here, you can throw some Fierce Kitten paws up in here. I'll throw some Dukes up in the air. Boom. Thank you so much for heading into the stream. Appreciate that little raid action. We are Jeff, Fritz, C# Fritz, and Fierce Kittens stormed in with a fury earlier. Thanks for some paws. I appreciate that. There we go. Get those paws going. They raided me with a huge, ridiculous raid, which is super awesome. They were learning XAML and WPF. And I was building my Hanselman app and doing theming and stuff. And I said, I'm going to switch over to some intro to C#, intro to XAML for Xamarin Forms. And we are in the middle, as you can see, incrementing a counter in the app. Cool. TBD Gamer, how'd your stream go? Did it go good? So remember, this is 1. So now this count is 1. So here, for instance, it says you click 0 times. And if I hit F10, now we're on this line, and we'll see it says you clicked 1 time. Right? So notice, though, that this says you clicked 0 + times. So what some people may expect to have happen here is that hey, I'm incrementing this. So you should evaluate it and then output it. So let's see what happens here. I hit F10. It says you clicked 1 time. So it actually incremented it and put it out. Yeah. All right, let me see. Oh, that they all did it correct. That doesn't seem correct, because now they all say 2. Doesn't seem... Did I mess up? C# Fritz, help me out. What am I trying to explain? Oof. There we go. Let's see if that all came back. Did we all come back? Are we back? Is it happening? Are all things happening? All right. And we're back. All right, so here's what happens. Every once in a while, my kernel decides to get upset at me because I've streamed too long and completely blows up and freezes my computer. Can't really figure out why, but Twitch has our back. Don't worry. Thanks, Twitch, for having automatic backup. Da-na-na-na. One day I'll rebuild my computer. So I literally had to stop. Yeah, basically, TBD Gamer crashed the stream. That's what happened. Ah, good. All right, cool. No, perfect. So, yes, MJ Freelancer is explaining what's happening. The post, there's a pre and post incrementer. So it is creating a temp value with the current value and then increments it. So if I tap this again, this should now be 0. Back out. Now, I believe that the values are all messed up now because they've all created, I think because I'm hovering over this, like incrementing it. Oh. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Power of T. So now everything is being incremented incorrectly because of how it's being output. So it's always kind of 1 ahead in general, 2 ahead in some cases because of how it's processing. Run it just to make sure I'm not. I think when I hit the breakpoint, it actually messed it up, so that's actually my fault. So I apologize. So I was wrong because the breakpoints were correct, but when I hover over it, it evaluates it. That's the problem. So I want to just not hover over the values. That was my problem. So I was correct. So here, when I come in, hit F10, and the label here will be you clicked 1 time. Hover over, you click 0 times. And then 1 more time, you clicked 1 time. So what's happening here is this makes a lot of sense. You clicked this many times, was reading this value. The difference here is that this gets evaluated first. So it says, what is the current value? Creates that temporary value and then increments it. Where here in this instance, it's going to increment it first and then output the value. So there's a few different ways of doing it, but kind of be confused as like, why can't I just do this? Because it evaluates it and then increments it. So that's sort of the issue that you have. Let's do something super fun. Internet ready? We're going to be ready for it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to... we're going to build a little application here. We're going to delete this. One more fun thing. Let's go ahead and display a list of monkeys. Ready? So let's do this. So I'm going to do something pretty cool in here. I'm going to add a new class, and we're going to call it monkey. And we're going to give this public class of monkey how many types of cactus are there? Ooh, 45. Public string name. We're going to give it a string of image. This works. So we are going to run this app. See if this works. I'll be very... I create a very simple class here that says a monkey has an image and a name property. So now, instead of having stack layouts and things like that, we're just going to give it a blank screen. And I'm going to put in a list view. And a list view, for all intents and purposes, has a list of data in it. So I just hit save here, there's not going to be any data. But let me go ahead and grab some data from the internet. So forms. We can give it some data, and we're going to give it by default a list of strings. Now we can say 0, 1, 2, 4. So what we've done here is we said, here's a list view. Here's a list of items. 4, 5. And now we have a list of items here. And what this is doing is it's just outputting this array. So it's a list for all intents and purposes of strings. So a string is just a string as if you're reading a book. letters and characters. And what it does, it just outputs it in the default format for all intents and purposes. So we can also give it a little thing called an item template. So how do I want it to display the item? So you can give it all sorts of different cells. So here I'm going to give it an image cell and give it a text property. So this is going to look exactly the same, which is cool, but I can also give it details. So now we have basically a list of strings, item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we're going to say each item, you should give it this thing called an image cell. And an image cell has an image, and it has two properties. So text and detail. And this binding thing is a very special syntax to say, I want you to display a specific value. And this dot says display whatever the entire type is. So display the string. So this is sort of the item that it's displaying. So instead of giving it a string, you should be able to give it a monkey. So let's give it new XS namespace up 3. So we're going to go and find out where this thing lives, and this thing is going to live. So now give it some monkeys. So I'm just going to give it a going to hit save here. Now, notice that I actually have 2 items, but there's nothing in them. That's because now I've bound it to this dot. So it doesn't know what a monkey, how to display a monkey. But I can go ahead and give it the properties inside of it to display. So here's baboon, here's a golden tamarin. So what we should also be able to do here is give it some images. So like every good developer on my website, I have a file of monkeys, a bunch of monkeys here. And if this works, I should be able to tell it that this baboon lives here and that this golden tamarin monkey. I actually don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to hit save. Doesn't do anything. But I should be able to say image source. And instead of doing name, I would do image. And I don't know if that was going to work or not. Very close to working. That is for sure. Thought it was going to work and then it didn't. Close. I wonder if I refresh it. That'd be a cool demo, because I just don't know if it can pull the... If it does, I don't know if it knows to correlate it. That's it. Close. Dang. Dang. Close. Okay. We're very close. So, to get images in there, we're going to do something a little bit different then. I thought that was going to be super rad. Dang. Okay. So instead of creating the list of items in there, we'll say list view monkey. What I'll do in the code behind here is we'll set it here, and then Xamarin Forms will be able to figure list view dot monkeys dot item source monkey. Hey, here's a list of monkey. And we will figure this out. So instead of setting it in the code, we're gonna or in the normal stuff. We're just gonna put it here. We're gonna run it again. This should at least display it. Now, the reason it didn't know how to correlate them is I think it just didn't know necessarily how to. This binding didn't know how to figure it out. Oh, it's not still. Oh, you know what happened? There was a bug in this. Yes. That didn't work because they fixed this bug that didn't display images. Aha. That's funny. I remember that now. Something that broke and then they updated. I'm gonna update my update. That's my fault. My fault. File new did quite have. Actually, curious if that does work. I did live in Arizona, so I should know how many types of cactuses there are. I think there's a lot. I went to when I was in Palm Springs recently, I went to like a outdoor, I don't know, cactus thing, and there was all sorts of there's all sorts of plants, but there was a lot of cacti. So, all right, let's see if this works, because if so, that would make a lot of sense. Try this out. I think that's what happened. So that's. Is it a shell app? No, this is just file new blank app. So we're just teaching some XAML basics, some Xamarin Forms comparison to UWP, and getting some things in a list here. Valid URL. Definitely. All right, one more thing here. Just making sure I do a full, complete, clear rebuild. Ah, there we go. Okay, so just need to clear out the app. It's good to go. Now, I am curious, while we're in here again, I'm going to delist it out, put this back. This should work. Does again. Just an older bum version of Xamarin Forms. That's my fault. Templates need to be updated immediately. Get on the team and yell. Okay, because that actually does work. Cool. So awesome. So if I duplicate this, who cares? Very cool. And then I could probably get rid of this. So there's nothing there. Now we have a list of monkeys. You just do it right in here. Baboon, golden tamarin. Then, yeah, I could go over here and I could say, let's get a howler monkey. here. Let's get a Duke Langer. So the red shank Duke Langer, one of my favorite monkeys of all time. We just raised $1,000 for the Duke Langer Foundation. Helps the Dukes of the world in Laos. Stunning. Now let's really zoom in on this Duke. So we're going to create a grid here. Okay. You're going to put that list view in a grid, and we learned about grids earlier. So what we could do is could be fun. So a row definition, and we're going to create 2 rows. Thanks Bill, for the energy boom. So we're going to give it a height. Now previously we gave it numbers. Now what we could do is we could give it this thing called auto, and what auto will do is it will attempt to size it to what it needs to be for all intents and purposes. What's the difference between a monkey and an ape? There is. Somebody asked me this. They're 2 members of the order of prime. Yeah, I think apes are usually just larger in new. There's also New World and Old World, and in general. All right, so let's do this. So we're gonna, instead of this, what we can do is we can say, let's give it a star. And what that does is it says fill as much as possible. So if you do 2 rows with stars, then the heights will be cut in half. So this will say 50%, 50%. So let's just really explore this. So if under this list view I put a box view and I say fill and expand, and I'll say vertical options, fill and expand, so make it as big as possible. I'll say background color equals red, and then we'll use our good old friend grid.row equals 1, and bam, right now it's at 50-50, right? But I could also do something such as another one, so now it's going to be 30%, 30%, 30%. Or you could say 60%, 20%, 20%. Then boom, now it's 60, 20, 20. Pretty cool. We're just going to do 50-50 though. And I'm going to do an image. And we're going to say source. And we are going to... I need to do something here. So we're going to give... Oh, can I do this? Can I give it an X? Here, we're going to give it a... Not row height. We'll give it a... we're going to say source, and we're going to say it is a... So what we want to do is we want to give this image a reference and say whatever the selected monkey is. So we're going to look up Xamarin Forms U2V binding. Did a whole video on it. Control reference binding. I literally did a video on it. Look at this. I literally did a video on it. Hey, I'm James Montemac now. How's it going? I had a beard. That's cool. Ow. How did I do it? Come on. Binding context. X reference. Wow, James. Thanks, past James. Awesome. X reference. Then I can say image source. I need to improve this player. We were using the YouTube player, but it wasn't accessible enough. A lot of accessibility things in there. Selected. What is this? I can say selected. I actually don't know if this works at all. Oh. I think I might need to stop. Start it. Idugu asks, I can't watch your live stream as it's delivered at high bandwidth, the source. Yes. Is it possible to enable option for streaming at 730, 360, 480, etc.? So I export all of my videos to YouTube as well. So if you go to YouTube James Montemagno, which will be here. I export all the videos here so you can watch them on demand. I'm not a partner, so I don't get all those streaming options. Ah, it did work. So I needed to recompile because I needed to give it this name here. So now whenever I tap, it's going to say, hey, I would like to go bind to this list. And then I can tap on this. The red shank duke. I think this actually breaks because I reset it, or probably what's going on. Like whenever I reset it, this data binding breaks because it's. This image deserves a frame with a shadow. Correct. There's a few things with like these backing fields that you could do a. Wrap it in a frame. Frame is hard view, and then you could say pet. Or if you wanted to, you could just also not make it filled, but you could do like us. That. Why am I coding so late? Because I had super secret meetings at work. And I missed out on my stream earlier. But I'm about to wrap it up. I can get this working. Not work as expected.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Has a little shadow. Oh, this is a selected item. Definitely filling it. Like underneath it. That information flow. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why the vertical did come with it in general. Good. Messing around. Cool, actually. I think because I had this like aspect fill, so it's filling it no matter what. Can the shadow be bigger without using a renderer? I don't think so. I don't think you have to use a renderer. You could just use a effect probably, so you don't have to do a custom control or anything like that. This is a official card view. There is an Android elevation. Actually, if it applies to this. No, I don't think it applies. What's something? Does visual element. There you go. Boom. Just did it. The elevation. So it's how high it is off the ground. So it'd be like a bigger shadow around it. Yeah. I mean, I'll link it to you in this. I don't know about iOS because iOS doesn't have it. Like this can be applied to anything on Android. So I think it just makes it bigger, I guess. You know.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Phoenix NCR, thank you for the follow. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast, and I actually do need to eat stuff. Got my drinks, I got my stuff, but I appreciate it. Fierce Kittens, thank you so much for the raid. TBD Gamer, thank you for the raid. John Galloway, thank you for the raid. You can find me on the GitHub as well.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Andre Jacarber. I don't know if it's because you're in Brazil, BR, maybe. Definitely thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I also enjoy right here that sometimes I like to live tweet, of course. I live stream. Which component do you recommend to use TensorFlow 2 Lite in Xamarin Forms app? I don't know if we have TensorFlow Lite binding. There's a TensorFlow Android package that we have. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask maybe Jim Bennett. He might know. But ping me on Twitter and then we can start a thread on it. Just my name at James Monson. Buddy. Fortnite. late night, a lot happening. All right, well, I guess I'll probably just call it. I'll be on the road. So I'll be on the road for the next week. So I think 10 or 11 days. However, I'm going to bring my microphone. I'm going to bring my capture card. So I'm going to attempt to set up OBS on my Mac and stream my... I think the capture card will work on my Mac. Does it work? I don't know if the capture card works on the Mac. I think I might have to do a capture of my Mac to my PC and do it that way. I'm gonna probably do that. It will be pretty interesting, and I'll work on something. I don't know, probably something. I'll do something, but I'm not sure what time it will be. Yeah, you know, I gotta stream. Gotta be streaming. So I'm gonna... John's still here. Everyone, John Galloway. John Galloway.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Lou Ferrogo, thank you for the follow as well. Wow. Man, all I have is like one turkey burger in the... I have nothing in the fridge. Guess I'm gonna have to go to... That is sad. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring the capture card. I'm gonna bring all the goods, right? I'm gonna make it happen. Got a pack still, so that's gonna happen too. I'll probably not have a really good webcam. Maybe I'll pack a webcam. Should I pack a webcam? Will I overload the USB ports? That is the question. Tacos. Ooh. Taco kit. Wish something was open. So I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure. It was an emoji taco. Tacos. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I will figure out. I need a good microphone. Webcam, you guys can live without me on a webcam, so I'll maybe skip my webcam. I just think it'll be too much on my poor Surface Book. There's not enough ports. You know what I mean? So I'll do that. All right, I'm gonna go. We play a beautiful outro, so if you want to hang around, kick it on the outro, we'll go and do it. But thank you so much, Fierce Kittens, for the super raid. Thanks for the resubs. Thanks for the bits. I appreciate everyone that hung out, learned some new Zam. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Hopefully this was fun. I don't know. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know too. Thanks for the normal everyone that's normally here on Fridays, going deeper on stuff. If you want to come around, hang out. You know, I'm pretty chill. Got some pretzel in the background. Talking about Xamarin Form stuff, Xamarin stuff, mobile stuff. Sometimes I do not Xamarin stuff. Sometimes I'm working on open source stuff, but it's fun. You can ask me basically anything. I work on the Xamarin team at Microsoft. I work with John Galloway. I work with that. I stream every Friday around 2 o'clock, Andre. 2 p.m. Pacific. That is what I attempt to do. But let me see. How many... what time in... Where will I be next Friday? Germany. It is 6:43 a.m. in Germany, which means it is 9 hours ahead of time, which means 11 p.m. Germany time, and that should work. As long as my hotel has internet, we will be streaming. So hopefully 2 p.m. Pacific time every single Friday, and I will be back 2 Fridays right here with this beautiful background. We'll see how that goes. But I know that Fritz has streamed from a hotel room, so we'll see how that goes. 1:45, that. Yeah, and then sometimes what I also do is I've been known to do late night streams too from time to time. So make sure you tap on that follow button. Streaming all the time. But thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm going to go. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, night, whatever. Make sure you check out all of the live coders who are coding all the time on the code. I appreciate it for everyone being awesome. Yeah, I'm going to go figure out something to eat. All right, cheers. Everyone have a fantastic day, evening, night, whatever. Thank you for following. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for everything. Good night. Cheers.